was involved with the original group going back to 2003. And the question that has come up already, obviously, but I mean it more specifically, is the answerability. Because Norman's great outline of who the parties are and all of that, and when you know, everybody read about what happened with the Carlton Avenue building, where the affordable subsidized units were being offered at $3,000 a month. Yeah. They couldn't rent them, and they got to opt out. What happens to the, what was it, $500 million of subsidies, our public money?
$2 billion.
Huh?
There was $2 billion, that's Norman.
Anyway,
but let's be very specific. They didn't opt out. They simply didn't fill those units through the lottery.
But then they get to rent them on the open market.
No, they don't.
No? Okay.
They rent them. But the thing is, just to explain about 535 Carlton and 38 6th, those are quote-unquote 100% affordable. Half of those buildings are what I think a lot of people on the street would say are affordable, and half of those buildings are for people who are earning 6 figures.
Right. And
they might be below market, but you're paying 21 for a studio, 27 for a 1-bedroom, 32 for a 2-bedroom, and 37 for a 3-bedroom. Better than on the market in downtown Brooklyn, but certainly not for the people who are marching for this project. One other thing, sorry to be a little persnickety here, but the subsidies that have been projected and discussed have to do with the life of the project, so it's really dangerous to sort of give numbers for something that's ongoing. And just a little caution, I mean, I, like a lot of people, I'm sorry to hijack your, I, like a lot of people, believed the New York Magazine article. I believe the Develop, Don't Destroy Brooklyn analysis of that, and I thought Forest City was going to get rich. And I think a lot of people still think Forest City did not get rich. They exited this project in great pain, and that's why the Chinese developer was willing to come in. And so what's interesting is that, and one of the things I think we should think about maybe in relation to other projects is there is a cost to delay, both with the developer and with the public. And some people would say, oh, it's the people who criticize the project, and that's the Dan Doctoroff, like it was the public that screwed us over. And maybe, as I said earlier, maybe the project, and Dan Doctoroff might also say, maybe the project was too big to start with and wasn't doable, and therefore, even though it sounded good, the cost to both the developer and the public in general is really great. I was just talking to a lady in the audience who said she lives at 550 Vanderbilt. She says, what's going to happen across the street? And I go, I don't know. And to answer Jimmy's question, I didn't organize this, but there's a lot to understand about what's going on. But there's no revelation, and honestly, that's a question for the electeds. You know, they're the ones who can actually drill down better than civilians.
Well, that's, I guess, what I'm saying is, I understand this is an attempt to begin to organize around what's seen as an opportunity. Generally speaking, in my experience, a developer who defaults or otherwise falls short gets even more rather than abandonment of the project. And what worries me, and that's part of what I mean by answerability, is so if everybody caves on the P.C. Richards site, because otherwise what, then really there's no penalty, you know, for the developers. And I think we've probably all had it up to here.
I want to maybe try to tie what Norman said and what you said together, Enid, you know, from years past. I think, and I'm going to try to be very succinct. This is about the elected officials.
Yeah.
And we're all here, we vote for the elected officials. To my mind, this is about working together collectively to tell the elected officials what we want them to do. And I think that's about transparency. It's about collective action. And we're in a place, in a circumstance where there's a lot of moving pieces, it's complicated. If you think that one person or one group can figure it all out, I mean, how many people here think that one person or one group can figure everything out? Really? So I want to just encourage, you know, the elected officials, number one, to slow down, and number two, to listen to the community And ideally, the community, in a disciplined way and with priorities, works together.
I'll